Hi, everybody. Oh, looks like my audio might not be working. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Am I live now? Test, test, test. Am I live now? There we go. Sorry about the delay in getting started there. We are just getting set up and we're ready to begin. Hope everyone's enjoying their Wednesday today. Today we'll be going over a quick demo of how to submit designs and what the conditions are prior to be able to submit designs in LotWorks. My name is Tom and I am Blueprint's support admin. Very kind of proud of our system, and I just want to take a quick look through the design submission portion from a builder's perspective. So what you see in front of you right now is the main LotWorks dashboard. The architectural portion is in this module here, the architectural module, with the main events being submitted, rejected, resubmitted, approved, design change submitted, and design unapproved. Now, when any actions are taken in LotWorks, a notification is sent to the builder and to the administrators, typically a land developer of the LotWorks system, letting them know as to what has happened, what actions have taken place, and what's changed on the lot. So when a design is submitted, the land developer will be notified. And then once that design is reviewed and either approved or rejected, the builder will receive a notification as well. Now, we are live streaming here, so if you do have any questions while you're watching, please just type them in the chat, and I will make sure to get back to you quickly here with an answer. And we'll continue to do these more frequently than we have in the past, just because a lot more people are at home and potentially could benefit from having a quick little demonstration on the functionality here. So prior to a lot being available for submission, it's going to need to be at a specific status in the system. So I'm just going to jump to our demo community here of Green Ridge. Just show you what those statuses are. So in terms of sale status, the lot needs to be owned by the builder. So either in builder inventory, which is the status when lots are sold by the developer to the builder and it becomes in their inventory, or sold, and that's typically used for individual lot sales, or once that builder inventory home has been sold to a third-party buyer. So that sold is third-party buyers. And builder inventory is just in the possession of the builder. And spec is a quick possession home with no home buyer yet on it. Now, to be able to submit a design on a lot, you will need to add a home to that lot. So on a builder inventory lot, if you click on it, you'll see a lot of information about that lot. You'll be able to click on the action menu, but you will not see a submit design option. Prior to submit design though, you will have the option to preview design, and you'll have the option to view the neighbor report. Previewing the design is going to be a great opportunity for you to see what the design submission form is going to look like before you actually go through and submit your design for review. And the neighbor report is a very handy way to see what's already been submitted on neighboring lots, as those will affect what design submissions or what design options are available for you for your submission. But the big takeaway here is that you do not have the option to submit a design. Now the reason for that is that there's no home on the lot, so like I said before, you will want to add that home to the lot. The way to do that is to click on the lot and click Add Home Buyer. When you add a home buyer in LotWorks, you have the option to either add their information by clicking Edit, filling in all their buyer details, and they'll populate here. Or if you don't yet have a third-party buyer and you are looking to simply submit a design on a quick possession home or a show home, you'll want to use this checkbox here to build it on spec. Now again, with any actions taken in the system, there's notifications that are sent out. And you can choose to send them to everybody or not send them to anybody, and change the text as well. And confirm your action. Now we won't get into the homebuyer surveys. There's none set up for this community, but this would be an opportunity to send that homebuyer survey if there was a buyer being added. So now you can go back to the phase in the map view, or you can click on the lot itself. This lot details view is going to show you the same lot event actions that are available from the map, but they're listed here in the detail view, which shows you a bit more than you can see from the map. Now, the information that's displayed here is pretty important for design teams, and include the frontage, the zoning, the product type, architectural type if that's set up in your system, but the basic build width and build length information, and also whether the lot is high visibility or not. Many builders will have specific requirements for designs if the lot is a high visibility lot. So you'll want to make sure that you check this information here in the lot details prior to submitting your design. Now, when you're ready to submit, you'll be able to click Submit Design. This button is now available because I've gone through and added the home to that lot. So there's now a home on this lot, and I can go through and click Submit Design. I can also reserve the colors. This is either a salesperson or an architectural person. This lets me go through and instead of submitting a full design, if I know my home buyer or the spec home kind of requires specific wall colors, roof colors, door colors, driveway colors, etc., you can go through and submit a reservation for those options. Now, it's very, very important here when you're going through and placing a color reservation that you remember that this information, once submitted, prevents any neighboring lots from submitting the same options, the same or similar options based on the architectural controls. So previously, when you were looking at the neighbor report, you saw that the neighboring lot had already submitted designs and had already made certain selections. So now, if I click on this color dropdown, I'm not going to be able to select Mountain Ledge Rental because it's already been selected by neighboring lots. So I can select anything else that's available in the list. And if the option I would like to select is not available from the dropdown, I can click to open up a little pop-up, and it's going to let me enter in a new custom option. So if, let's see, Dakota White was available, let's include the product here as well, Canyon Ledge, Dakota White. I know that exists and it should be available, but for some reason it's not, and I'm going to ask the developer to approve it. I'm going to click that, click add, and then I can add a comment here like, please approve this option, or any additional information regarding your custom color. Now, the developer is going to see that a new custom color has been submitted, and they will have the option whether to add that color to the lot itself, approve it for the individual home submission, or add it to the database for all future submissions as well. If you click Next for the review, you have a chance to review what you have submitted and submit the colors. If you just want to kind of approve or submit one thing, you can just remove all the options on the others and they won't be submitted. There we go. So likely that autofill was there just because this is the test community and there was previously a submission on it. But here you go, just one reservation to be done. And if I do this reservation on this lot, it's going to submit those colors for approval. Now, the reserved colors aren't automatically approved. The developer does need to go in and approve those. So if you see on the dashboard, there is a module called Reserved Colors. There's a new lot here, that's just the one I just submitted for Reserved Colors Submitted. And the developer has the option to go through and either approve or reject that design submission. And here they'll receive warnings as to what's already been submitted on neighboring lots that could contravene the architectural controls. And they see your new custom color, the big red C, indicating that the custom value entered by Bluegrass Homes, which is the builder that is currently owning this lot, with a comment saying, please approve this option. So the builder can, or developer can approve that option and checking this box here will add the custom value to the database itself. Otherwise, they can just check this masonry and click Approve Colors. Now, once you've added a custom color, it's going to ask you where you'd like to add that custom color. This is mainly for developers. Builders won't really see this side of things, but by default, it's going to fill in the name that they added and the manufacturer, and they can choose to add it to a control and to a specific color group if they wanted to as well, and they can click Submit. Now, for future submissions, when you go back through, you'll actually see Canyon Ledge Dakota White as well as an option. If I go back to the lot details, you'll now see there's a reserved color on this lot as well, but there's not yet a full design submission. So again, for builders, prior to submitting a full design, you can go through and preview the design. This is going to give you a chance to take a look at the full design form without actually submitting anything. So you can go through and kind of play around with it, take a look at all the options, take a look at all the restrictions and information that's required, and fill out your details, fill out all your model information, click through, but nothing's going to prevent you from going on to the next pages for your submission. But let's get to it and actually submit the full design for this lot. Again, we can do that from the map or from the lot itself. Take off my spec filter or my builder inventory filter. This lot has now been updated to be a spec lot. And you can go through and submit design. The first thing it asks you for is which style of home is being built. Now, the style sometimes is set up, depending on the developer, will be set up and show different restrictions and measurement and guideline information on the submission itself. So let's go with a classical home. Page 1 of 3 of your design submission is always going to be your measurements and subjective controls. The measurement portion involves adding a model name or a model. I'm just going to select one of our previously filled out ones. So it's also going to populate it with the information that was previously submitted for that model. So you can see the total square feet, the fascia in inches, the side yard. You can see the build width, the model type. It's all automatically filled in. You can also type in a new name here if it's going to be a new model that isn't in your drop-down list. This drop-down list is filtered specifically to your builder, and so you'll see your models as you submit more and more designs in the listing. Below that is your measurements and details. It's going to give you some basic information about your home design. This is all very custom for each land developer. They will have custom architectural controls that matches their printed guidelines and allows you to add your information. Everything that has this dotted underline here indicates that there is a tooltip present on that field. So when I'm mousing over here, it's going to show that fascia on all elevations of home shall be 6 inches minimum in dimension. Side yard 4 feet minimum. And the question mark is also going to give you just a quick blurb about the actual minimum value. These are the subjective controls. Typically they will be just the text controls, but occasionally they also have additional kind of checkboxes to select which front entrance details you'd like to use. For instance, let's say that, this home does have a veranda because we require a certain amount of homes in our communities to have verandas. Then the grades and setback details. You can enter in the grades and setback details of your home and any general comments you'd like to add as well about that home that you're submitting. These fields here quickly as well are just simple comments fields, so if you'd like to add any additional questions or comments to the land developer, you can here. And the land developer will see your comments when they're reviewing your submission. Page 2 of 3 is the colors section. Now previously we went through and did that color reservation, and so you can now see that it's reserved. I cannot change what I had submitted. So I selected Canyon Ledge Dakota White. All the comments from the color reservation are here as well. Everything's kept and saved, but it cannot be changed. You are also warned of the submissions on neighboring lots. So you can see that I cannot select, let's go through trim, Royal Sovereign, and I won't be able to select timber bark. Now there's no additional colors here that I can select, so we can go through and add another custom color like we did for Dakota White. So timber bark isn't available, so let's go willow bark. I'll add willow bark as a custom. And just add a quick comment to your land developer for the review. You can then follow up and go through the rest of the selections and fill out your design form. And again, everything that has that dotted underline, you can see it under roof, siding, stucco, masonry, window frames, driveway, all of those. They do have additional tooltips that tell you more about the requirements on that specific home. So in this case, for window frames, note stucco, aluminum, or vinyl are not permitted window trim materials on any elevation. Once you're happy with all of your selections, I'm just going to go through and select some fairly strange options. Once you're happy with your selections, you can go through and click Next for the design review. Now this is going to be page 3 of 3. And you'll be able to review the lot, review any buyer details. Remember, we set this up as a spec home with no home buyer. review everything you've submitted so far for the model information, for the grades and setback details, for the measurements. You selected wood veranda here. You have your question. This is going to be very visible to the land developer when they're reviewing your submission. It's a little bit less so here, as it includes the information from the measurements and subjective controls as well. And then you have all of your options for exterior color selections. Now, prior to being able to submit a design, I need to upload and attach all plans. So it does depend on your land developer. Most will have house plan and plot plan as your two upload fields. So one for the actual home and one for the plot itself. Some do include a color board or a landscaping plan, and some do a combined upload where it's just a single PDF that includes kind of everything, the house plan, plot plan, sometimes landscaping as well. But you do need to upload these prior to the submission actually taking place. So I'm going to quickly select some random PDFs here just to be able to submit this lot. And then submit design. Now, again, prior to submitting, please read the conditions of approval. Each land developer will write their own conditions of approval, and you need to meet these prior to submitting. They can include things like a fee for resubmissions or review. So please make sure to read this and approve prior to clicking Submit Design. Now, please wait. Do not close your browser. Do not hit the back button. Very, very important, as right now those plans are being uploaded and everything is being saved. So depending on your speed, might go quick, might go a little slower. There we go. Action successful. Design has been submitted for approval. Click on link to view your design information. You can click on the home itself that you just submitted, or you can click on the phase to go back to that map view that we were looking at. If I click on the home, you'll be able to see all the information that's been submitted. In the lot history, you can click on architectural design submitted, and that's going to open up a friendly, printer-friendly pop-up that shows you all of your design information, very clearly who submitted it when, all the basic details, and very, very visibly the comments that were submitted on the lot. Now, at this stage, the land developer will have received a notification that the design has been submitted, and they can go through and approve or reject that design submission. Once they've approved it, you're done. Not much else needs to be done except for, on some systems, there is construction tracking that requires that dates be added. And those dates are accessed by clicking Edit Home. I'm going to show you what that looks like on your dashboard here, just by opening it up in a new window. You'll have a Home module, and occasionally this will show construction start date, under construction date, possession date, construction completion date, home buyer information required. So this is very important to keep up to date, as it is important for the land developers to know the true progress of the homes in their community, because it will determine how quickly they release new phases and new lots. Going back to my home details screen, if I click Edit Home, I will have that option to add the possession date. Now again, depending on if construction tracking has been set up for the LotWorks system you're using, this may also have under construction date, construction completion date, and those will be very, very important for both yourselves as the builder and for the land developer. If it's not filled in a timely manner, those triggers depending on each system, you will also receive a monthly spec memo, essentially just asking you to fill in dates, add home buyers, etc. on your homes in LotWorks. You can also upload your elevation image. There's another video available in the YouTube channel on how to create an elevation image, but The short and simple of it is to open up your house plan. Just take a look at that front elevation. You can print screen and paste it into Paint and save it. LotWorks will automatically resize that image into 235 by 200. That's in pixels. And that's going to appear here on the pop-up instead of that image not available. So you can see that on some of the other demo homes we've submitted. If I go to... looks like these might have been reset a little bit, so they don't actually have the demo homes on them at the moment. But the elevation image will be displayed there. You can also upload the kind of marketing-friendly model image from your website just to show what the home's going to look like. And it's very, very useful for yourselves, for other builders, and for the land developer to know what's being built on that lot and see it quickly at a glance. It's also displayed on the View Neighbor report. So if you have that that elevation image, please upload it. It's gonna be great just to kind of see that neighbor report, see kind of a streetscape type view on the on that neighbor report for the little area that it's being built in. And so again, that was under Edit Home. And you can access Edit Home either from the lot itself or from the map. So this has been a quick run through of design submissions from the perspective of a builder. We went through the requirements to actually submit a design. Main thing is you need to have a home on the lot. If you don't see submit design, 9 times out of 10 it's because there's no home on that lot. It needs to be added before you can submit your design. You can also reserve colors once that home's been added. So we did a color reservation. And then we did a full architectural submission. If you submit a design, it gets approved, and your home buyer comes back to you and says, hey, this needs to be changed. I don't want white walls. I want black walls. Let's paint it black. You can go through and also submit a design change. It's going to follow the same process and approvals by your land developer. But please be aware of any terms and conditions that they have on the design submissions, as there may be a fee associated from your land developer for that. Otherwise, that's it. That's the basics of the design submission process. Please let me know if you have any questions in the chat. I'll stay live for a little while. And also for questions, you have a very handy little pop-up here in the bottom right-hand corner, and that's going to give you access to our famous Help Center. Help Center is great for your basic information and questions on how to use the system. You can get to it either through the support tool in LotWorks or by going directly to support.lotworks.ca. There's also an additional link that's builderhelp.lotworks.ca. Again, that's builderhelp.lotworks.ca. It's going to go to the builder-specific section, kind of running through the main builder actions, requirements, etc. It has a section for architectural designs on adding and removing spec homes, the neighbor report, submitting designs, repetition rules, reserving colors, adding custom colors, all the details we went through today. And again, you can get to that by going to support.lotworks.ca and clicking on Develop Users, or by just typing in builderhelp.lotworks.ca. All right, looks like there are no questions at this time. So I'm going to sign off and say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us today on this quick demo of the architectural submission system from the builder's perspective. This has been Tom from Blueprint, demoing the LotWorks Develop system. Thank you again.